Okay. So I did this one for first because I thought it was great. What is your best advice on avoiding complacency? As far as leaders go, of course, and kind of like casting a vision for that, and just I guess also helping avoid complacency among your team as well.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of studying on why we do things such as that. Sit down. Here we have all this amazing success going on. Probably just reached a rank, a check that you never dreamed of reaching. It doesn't matter what that was. It could be a $500, it could be the rank of Ruby. I see people do this at all income levels of checks. I mean, I've done it. It's like you work, and you have this vision, and then you reach it, and all the air is sucked out of you, and you just sit down and you just start to slide backwards. And so we can say that's complacency. We could, if we really wanted to psychoanalyze it, we could look at other things as well. But the fact is, a lot of times, Emily, we don't even know that we've done it until it becomes catastrophic in feeling. You get to that. Let's say that check is 10 grand. Catastrophic would be it went to half. And then it goes to half again. So now we're from 10,000 to 2,500. If we went back and did some work and looked at the actual time of, because it just doesn't happen overnight. I mean, for you to reduce the volume that much and the check that much, it happens over a period of months, if not a year. And so what we want to look at is, when did I actually sit down? When did I actually stop doing the work? When did I get complacent? And something else that just came to my attention, I talked about it on my live at 6:30, is why do lottery winners lose all their money? The vast majority totally implode, go back to losing all of it. And how do they lose it? They spend it, every penny. They buy people houses, they buy themselves a big house, they buy the cars, they buy the boats, they buy all the toys, and they just blow it. Well, after a lot of research, what they've realized is it's not familiar being there. Just think, if you're making 10,000 extra a month, that's not familiar. And you're still surrounding yourself with the same people, the people that you still go out with. They're still friends of yours, which is great. I'm not saying that we're any different than anyone else, but they're not growing, they're not evolving, and they're very what in this book was referring to as familiar. We go back naturally to what is familiar. And so reaching that income level, we've never done before. Nobody ever coached us. When we got there, we used to live in paycheck to paycheck. And so we almost go back to living paycheck to paycheck. We didn't save any of the money. We spent it. I mean, I've had people within our team say, I'm going to buy my parents a house. And I'm like, why? That is not your job. That is not your job. Nor is it your parents' job to buy you. So what we've got to look at is, why are we self-destructing? It's because, honestly, it's like a lottery winner. It's unfamiliar. So how can we make it familiar? We have to really work on it. We have to work on going back and really looking at, what do you want? What do you want? What do you really want? It's fun making that kind of money. It's like, wow, I love that coming in every month. But if you're just spending it and spending it and spending it and not developing new habits of saving, investing, looking at paying off all your debt, then you're going to end up blowing it in so many different ways, blowing the money, blowing the opportunity, and you're going to end up going backwards because fear is going to set in because you're overspending. So that's one thought. Another is you just say, I'm tired. I'm just tired. Well, we get tired. I understand that. So we can get to that level and really cheerlead ourselves and praise ourselves, which I really want you to do, and honor the get, what it took to get there. But now it's a new place. It's a new place. It's a new start. It's not a finish. It's a new start. So how do I start from here? Pam, I'm there. I'm at this position. I am making X amount of money. That was my goal. That was my dream. And everyone that's ever won anything, and I love Daniel Miller. He wrote StoryBrand. He wrote another book before that, and he said he talks to so many, especially athletes, people that have won awards, and he said this was happening to him. He worked so hard to get through this triathlon, and he knew the moment that he went home, the boredom would set in, oh my gosh, I did it, now what? And he said he could get into a really big funk, or he would needed to set a new goal. And that's what you can either get into a funk, which, hey, we watched Michael Phelps do this. We watched Tiger Woods do this. We've watched stars do this. We've watched musicians do this, where they get to a certain level and then they blow it. Well, have you done that? Have you gotten to a certain level and you blew it? You couldn't sustain it. You needed to set a new vision, a new goal. We're not going to do that for you. This is internal within your mind. This is something that you want to work on. You can say, but I'm tired. You know what? Yeah, I know you are. But if you sit down, your business is going down. It will not grow without your energy. It'll grow to a certain point, but it needs you, and it needs you full on. So what do? You praise yourself, you honor yourself, you thank yourself and your team, and you set a new goal. You have set a new rank, a new check, and you continue to move forward, or it's going to move you backwards. And that's it. Those are very simple things. But, Emily, do you feel like some people just get there and then they don't know what?
Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't reset.
Yeah, exactly. And even though they may be thinking, like, I'm ready to level up, like, let's get out the next chart, let's get out, like, the next goal. But I feel like almost physically, we don't know, like, what to do, like the actions to take sometimes.
Why do you think that? Because you knew. Do you think that because you think it's a different kind of action, or do you think it's because that high level of expectancy and energy is not there the second time around?
Well, I guess that comes into more like the mentality, you know, where, so, when you say you're pushing for double, let's say you're pushing for triple VIP, I tell people all the time, like, you gotta have the mentality of a presidential. If you want to go triple, you have to always be one step ahead, because, my favorite quote ever is aim high, miss high, right? You always have to be one step ahead of each other. But I also feel like it's what you were talking about is not being familiar. Yeah. And I guess that's the mindset portion of it. So it all kind of combines and comes together.
And, and we will unfortunately self-destruct. We will do the things that just aren't moving us forward. They're actually moving us backward. And these things are non-work, not doing self-development, not asking anymore, not instead of, all right, you're going for, let's say you are going for triple, I would be focused on press. It's so similar, it's so close and to what is needed. And it's much more exciting when you're going beyond where your next step is, but beyond, like better health, um, carry Underwood legs. I mean, think about, things like that. I mean, you've got to capture that vision of, all right, so this is going to take so many squats, so many lunges, so, eating right. And then what happens? You get the carry Underwood legs. Let's say you get them. Uh, you are quickly going to lose them if you don't continue to do the work, continue to evolve, continue to say, okay, now let's do something a little different in this workout. And that's what we need to do. We need to look at our Instagram, look at our Facebook, look at our team, look at our leadership and say, I don't want to get bored here. I want more stimulation. And I think that's a lot of it too. We get bored and it becomes boring. And, I've been married a long time. It could get really boring really fast. And so, yeah, we're always like looking for something new and fun and creative to do together. So that's what you need to ask yourself. Now, what do I want? What do I want? Because I am here and I want to go here. What would jazz me to get up early out of bed? And here's another thing with the unfamiliar familiar is now you've got to change up your routine. You're not going to get to the next level on the same routine. It's just not going to happen. Everybody has to up their game. Every single person has to up their game. So what does that mean? That means perhaps getting up at 5 a.m. and going and doing a workout, getting up at 5 a.m. and doing a power hour, getting up at 6 a.m. and doing a power hour. When you start, it's so, in the beginning, it's like, oh, I'm too tired. I don't want to do that. But that's what it's going to take. And then after a couple of days and into a couple of weeks, you're in a new rhythm. You're proud of yourself. You're patting yourself on the back. It's starting to feel really good. More things are getting done. And that's what I do to myself. I'm like, okay, I need to switch this up a little bit. This is starting to get boring. It's starting to get a little complacent. I'm not seeing the results that I want. So how can I level up and do this a little different?
Yeah. And I feel like as you were talking, what I kept hearing, maybe God speak to me, was when we're going for a goal, we have a dream or a goal or whatever it is, a rank, promotion, weight loss, body type, I feel like so many of us naturally think that, okay, I have a routine and I'm just going to do it. And you're so focused on hitting that goal or hitting that title, which is great. But sometimes you get to a point where it's like people don't think they need to change or need to do different until they hit it. Yeah. And that's when they get stuck or get in a funk.
Yeah. It's no fun being the same old. Yeah. It's just no fun. It's boredom is a nasty monster. Mm-hmm. It comes in when we're tired. It comes in and says, oh, look what you've accomplished. You should take some time off. Well, a couple of days is great, but then that turns into a couple of weeks. And then before you know it, a couple of months have gone by. And, my kids used to come to me and say, Mom, I'm so bored. I said, well, then you're boring. Yeah. And they didn't like that. But I'm telling you what, they got busy. I said, go do something different. Get out and learn something new. So that's what I challenge all of you to do, is learn something new. Put yourself out there in a big, big way and stretch yourself. Nobody's going to do this for you. You know what? We're all rooting for you, but I'm looking for people that want to work. That's who I want. I want people that want to work, that are willing to not be the status quo, who want to max out our comp plan, who want to take that triple diamond, $8,000 a month, and say, no, that's not enough. Let's make that 16. Let's make the 14, 28, and let's make the 32, 64, and let's make Black Diamond look like ordinary. I mean, that's what I want. And we've just got, in order for that to happen, we've got to, all of us have got to level up and know that it can happen. That's going to require doing some work in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love that so much. So it actually kind of leads into the next question, which is kind of about like merely getting over yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and whatever happened in the past happened. Like, you just have to wake up, thank God that you're here and you are starting off new and fresh, whether it's a new day or a new month or whatever it is. And sorry, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Sorry, but a few people actually asked me about this. It's just bringing out the red, I guess, within you, if you can, and just merely getting over yourself, you know. And I feel like obviously it's a mindset thing, but all of us are so different, and a lot of different colors, a lot of different personalities, so we all work in different ways. But just your little advice on that.
Well, you know, you already know what you need to get over because it's driving you insane. You know, I mean, you're waking up in it every day and you don't like it. It's a part of your personality that you feel is holding you back. It could be that you like potato chips, you know, let's just keep it simple. Or you procrastinate. You know, you just procrastinate on getting things done. You know, one trait of the most successful people in the world is that the first thing that they do is what they don't enjoy the most. You know, let's face it. I'm not Pollyanna here. You know, there are things that I don't want to do, but they are a part of the process. And so I know that if I get up and do that first thing, you know, that could be meditating. Some people just so dread it, but then once you get into it and you give yourself that space and that time, it becomes a part of your life. It could be working out. It could be that power hour, you know, because you've got young children at home, and you know how your day takes over. Your day takes over. So for me, when I first put my dream day together, that was my workout. You know, get your workout done, Pam. You got to take care of your body, because if you don't work out in the morning, it typically will not happen. The day takes over and it doesn't happen. So the most successful people in the world, they have that first list of, I really don't enjoy doing this, but I've got to get this done. It's a part of it. So I would do that. What is that for you? You know, it could be following up. It could be host to post, getting new people into the funnel, getting new prospects looking at your business. Whatever it is that you seem to be fighting with the most is the first thing you should do, because it's probably the very thing that's going to take you to that next level. And you internally, you know that, so you're procrastinating on it. Because why wouldn't exercise be that? It absolutely would be. It would be a fundamental part of your day to get your mind right. And once you start, you're like, wow, I feel good all day. It's a pat on your back, and you feel like you're owning the day instead of the day owning you. So that's really important. You know, again, I don't want you to be miserable in your morning. I want you to know that this is a fundamental part of creating that life that you want. And it's important to get that thing done.
Awesome. I love that so much. Okay, so going along with that, I'm just going to keep going in a nice rotation. How would you implement that among your team? So maybe you're like a diamond or double leader.
Mm-hmm.
How would you implement that among an entire team? You know, especially the girls, again, they brought up, you know, we're all different. personalities. You know what I'm saying? And obviously once you start growing a team, kind of goes all over the place, and you can't necessarily work on one-on-one with every single person every single day. So I guess, you know, going back a bit about casting that vision, but also kind of finding a balance between, you know, giving tough love, but also being there as a friend too.
Well, all right. So for people want a true leader. You know, they want a confident, and it's all women here, so a confident woman to tell them, instruct them, guide them, lead them on what is necessary. So do not be afraid of that. Yeah, I all want y'all to be my friend, but first and foremost, we've got a company to build, and we need to look at it that way. We all have different personalities, but we have one goal. I mean, and how we get there is going to be different for every single person. So as a leader, lead by example, lead by inspiration, lead by you getting up and doing something different in that morning, doing the things that you may not enjoy the most first, and showing that I'm willing to get over this part of me because I want to go here. And there's no other way. You know, when you see, it's Veterans Day, when you see the let's say the Marines, you know, the drill sergeant is right there with them. Now they're doing things that they don't want to do. Who wants to run through the mud in the rain carrying a rifle? But guess what they're doing to get through it? They're singing. They're singing those rhyming songs together collectively, and they're getting it done. And so that's who you are. You're kind of that drill sergeant. You're telling them, you may not like this. You told me you didn't, but guess what? We got to get over that if you want to go here. And that's how you guide them. There's so many things that our children didn't like growing up, but if we allowed them to get away with not doing it, we have really, like, you know, kids that nobody wanted to be around. And so what we've got to do is we've got to take hold of our team. We've got to respect those personalities, but everyone here has a common goal, and that is to get that check up there. That is to build a solid business, to increase our paycheck. And so in order to do that, we've got to grow a team. So that's what I would look at it. And get together, have the fun, sing the songs, chant, but get the work done. And that could be a power hour with some really strong music on, and you're all in there collectively together. Don't expect your team to do anything that you haven't done or are doing. That is just a joke. You know, I mean, it's Tuesday, it's Monday night. I'm working. And I've got another Zoom at 9. I'm working. I wouldn't expect any of you to do that if I wasn't doing it myself. I'm still asking. I'm still participating. Mm-hmm. Good questions. Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna add this in myself, and it's kind of a hard question depending on situations. But now, coming from, you know, all different levels, all different leaders. Some of us have been in for a few years. Some of us been in less than a year. Mm-hmm. A huge thing that I see across for leadership and leadership growth is finding that balance between, and I guess I'm backing up with the question a little bit too. I'm trying to word this the correct way. Not being necessarily a friend, but determining when is a good time, or maybe it's always a good time to give that tough love. Because I feel like I get so many questions about, you know, well, should I say this? Like, is this too harsh? And I'm like, you're not being harsh. It's your duty to help them. And if you are not straightforward, you know, with with your girls that you're talking to. You know, you're not being honest with them and giving them your best advice, and you're hurting them, you know. But do you get what I'm saying?
I do. It's like disciplining your child again. You love them
Yeah.
so much, but yet they're just going down a rabbit hole, and we don't have time. We got to get them out of that first little bit of that few inches of that hole. So first of all, where are you coming from? Ask yourself that question. Am I being judgmental? Am I coming from a place of love and appreciation? That's first and foremost. We can be bitchy and we can be mean, and neither one of those will get you very far in life. And it's unfortunate that women have some of those attributes. So I always check myself. Where am I coming from? Do I have some jealousy here? Am I worried that this person actually is better than me? And we can hurt people with our words. Words do hurt. And so first, we've got to grow up. We have got to, and I don't care what age you are. I've seen women my age just come down hard on somebody that was totally not deserving it. And so first, where are you coming from? Is this true about them right now? Is this really true? Is this really what you're seeing? Are you going to come from a place of leadership, full on leadership? And then I always ask permission. Are you open to a conversation about your organization, about your business, whatever it is? Are you open? The ones usually screaming the loudest are the ones that are actually doing it, are actually in the middle of the mess. And if they're screaming and hollering about somebody else, it's typically them that are the culprit. That's what I have discovered. I could be wrong in some cases. So I want to really dig into them first before I go and talk to the other person, if it's about somebody else. So where are you coming from? Are you honoring yourself and them? And then ask for permission. Emily, are you open to having a conversation about your business right now? Because I'm seeing a few things that are just raising some red flags. And then let them answer. Because when they come to you, then they're probably going to be a little more open than you just jabbing at them. They're going to be like, honey, you and I need to have a conversation about this. When can we sit down and really talk about it? And so that's what I do with my husband, because I just don't want to come after him like I'm just the biggest bitch in the world and you could be better straighten up. That's childish. So do that. Now, you might get this. No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk. No, I'm not in a good place. Let them go. Because they look, it could be just a really low self-esteem. It could just be they're not ready. And anything you say, be prepared for a full-on backlash. Be prepared for full-on. Nobody likes criticism. They can't stand it. Strong personalities will take you out so quick. So make sure where you're coming from is a really good place, and it really is for the betterment of their business. And that's a good leader. Al Capone in How to Win Friends and Influence People, they said, Al, he was a gangster. Why'd you shoot all those people? He said, because they talked about me. I had to shoot them. And, that's kind of how we feel. If you're coming after me, I feel like you're talking about me. Who else knows about this? And so here come your defenses. And I don't care what you say. At that point, they are not listening. They're in full on after you. The conversation might as well end. And this is what I'll do. I'll go, look, we're not getting anywhere. when you're more open to having an honest discussion about this, let's get back together. Because everything you say, they're going to defend. And we've gotten in more of what the words with people. And I mean, this happens with Mark and I. We have to just back away and come back later. No one likes to be called out. No one. But we got to grow up. We got to realize if this is truly affecting my business and my paycheck, then I need to know this. So, Emily, really, it's making sure you as the leader are coming from the right place.
Good intentions.
Yes.
Always ask questions. That's what I tell
the
everyone.
Betterment of them, for the betterment of them. And do not do it because it's the betterment of you. They'll smell it. That smells like a rat. And they will smell it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Now, question about going through a valley, right? I feel like it's been brought up a lot recently too. And I feel like we always need to hear this as many times as we possibly can, keep us in good faith. But, you know, as far as keeping that vision, like not to yourself, but for yourself, you know, as a leader, never mind your team, just talking about us right now, and being able to still dream big and, you know, have that confidence and have faith, you know, if you are going through a valley. You know,
well, you know, here's the thing. How long you want to stay in it? You know, I mean, if you find yourself getting in the valley, get out quick. This again goes back to you, your energy. Others in the company are growing. They're on the mountaintop. So think about it. Why are they on the mountaintop and I'm sitting here in the valley complaining and moaning and groaning when they're on the mountaintop? So that tells me that you've got to look at your thoughts, and your actions. You've got to look at that, and you've got to I want all of you to do one thing. If you feel like you're in a valley, you have got to be very honest with yourself. Yeah, it's time to put those big girl panties on and have an in-depth conversation with you. And that is, when did I start in the valley? Why am I in the valley? Why do I feel like I'm in the valley? And is it the valley of death? Do I just feel like death? Nobody will join death with you. They want the mountaintop. So your energy then is very low. Your thoughts are very low. Think about what you're thinking about. Write it down. How you feeling every day. Nobody wants to be my customer. I can't get any distributors. Everybody I get is dead. You know, I had that great conversation a couple years ago with Amy Spence, and she said, everybody I get, they're duds. And so I listened to her for a little bit, and then I said, Amy, is it possible that you are a dud at this moment? She sucked in her breath and she said, I absolutely am. I said, duds get duds. They don't get studs. They don't get them. So we have to look at ourselves. Now, are we going to always have fluctuation? Yes. But how long, how, you know, when it's like you wake up and you're in the valley. What happened? Well, you started the descent months ago by stopping doing the things that you were doing when you were on the mountain. So can we make the valley shorter, less depth, less length? Absolutely. The valleys help you realign. They also create something within you that you do not want to experience ever again. You want to gain wisdom from a valley. You want to say, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to be in a deep valley like this again. You know, I'm not even going to try to figure out how I got here. I'm getting out. And in the moment you decide that, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, ideas start flowing again. Dead people come alive. New people come into your organization that are the ones that are wanting to go to the mountain. That nobody wants to stay in the valley. And you know, you affect your whole team by this. They can feel the low energy. I mean, Emily and I have had some very honest conversations about this. And, you know, a lot of times I can get in a deep valley about a lot of things. And then when I start to come out, I'm like, what was that? What was that? And how in the world did I get in there? And why did I stay so long? And, you know, you don't know that till you start to come out. It's wisdom on how to coach people not to be in that valley that long. Yes, take a breath. I want you to take a breath. Sometimes we have to take care of family. Sometimes something comes in and we need to take some energy off our business and put it more into our family. And so don't expect the results to stay the same as when you had the full on advantage of working. So just get over it and get out of that valley. I mean, I can't do it for you. Emily can't do it for you. Your team's not, they're unable to do it for you. It is a definitive decision that I am out of that valley. I don't want to talk about a valley. I don't want to see a valley. All I see are mountains. That's what I see. And when your brain wants to go back there, say, no, we're going here. This is where we're going. I've got new ideas. Start writing them down. You know, I keep my journal with me all the time, and I've just got the greatest ideas in here. And I just write it down because there's something about using your hand, pen, putting it to paper. You know, it's like that you're in the shower and you're like, boom, this idea pops in. You know, I'll be on my walk and I have my phone with me because I'm listening to something, and I'll stop and put it in my notes because I don't want to lose that thought, because that's powerful, whatever that is. So we've got to get our juices flowing, our energy up. And this goes back to getting up earlier, doing something different, learning a new skill, falling in love again with the work. That's invaluable right there. Falling in love. You know, I used to tell people, I didn't, in the beginning, we wrapped everybody. I saw more butts and bellies and thighs than most people should ever see in a lifetime. Did I really enjoy that? No. But I'll tell you this, it built our company. And I started to fall in love with the results of that. So do you want to get up early? Probably not, but you will fall in love with the results of that. And then that will transfer and you'll start to fall in love with the actual doing. See, what I love about this, Emily, is this is all about us as individuals. We are in control of this. So if you're in a valley, whoever you are, you can get out. And you can get out right now by making a decision that I'm out. I don't want to be here anymore. It doesn't feel good. I haven't felt good for, you could be in that valley for years. How does that feel? It feels like death. That's what it feels like. There's nothing alive there. You're just barely doing things. And you're moaning and groaning. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to join your team. So you get to decide. This is an inside job. So decide that your mountain's even bigger than the last ones you just climbed. You know, there's a book called, I think it's called Second Mountain. And the very thing that he talks about is this. We are going to be doing this because we have a big why and we go after it. Then we get complacent and we stop. And then we start to come down again. So in order to like make that valley a little bit shorter the next time, immediately come out of whatever you just accomplished and reset. Like Mark says, reinvent, reload. This is nothing outside of ordinary. This is every business. This is Starbucks 101, McDonald's 101. Are they constantly changing their menu? Yeah. Chicago is getting ready to open up the largest Starbucks ever 5 stories. Looks like a flipping library. Yes, getting ready.
Wow.
Biggest ever in the US, and it's unreal. They're constantly reinventing themselves. That's what you need to do. You need to get so tired of being where you're at that you're willing to get up earlier, do the work, learn more, do more, and be more. Because I can't get you out of there. I can't drop a rope down and pull you out for anything, because you're going to want to drag me down there with you. And that's another thing. If you're in that valley with other people moaning and groaning, you got to get out fast, because they're not doing anything and going anywhere that you want to be. All it is a bunch of you in there complaining and whining and in agreement that it's okay, we're in the valley together. It's got to be the company. It's got to be the products. It's got to be the time. No. If everyone was in the valley, then we would need to look at it from a company perspective. But they're not. They're not. Yes.
You took the words right out of your mouth, right out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. It's literally about just making the decision. That's it. I mean, it starts with that, and then it's not about waiting for the momentum. It's about creating.
You create the momentum yourself. What do you think momentum is coming, trying to find you? It's already working with somebody. Momentum is create. It's energy that you create. You create it. And, it happens. It's after the fact, after the action is when the momentum is. It's after. It's like work, little momentum. Work, little more momentum. A year goes by and you're like, this thing is on fire. This thing is like blowing up. And then that's when you really put on the gas, because you want to capitalize on that momentum, and you want to just go to that high mountain that there is, and there's time that is the time that you've created. That is waiting there for you.
That was one of the biggest lessons and aha moments for myself in the business, is going through like a roller coaster of a mentality of kind of like not necessarily waiting physically, because I was putting in action and putting in the work, but mentally it was the hardest thing for me, because I couldn't understand for a long time that if I was putting in the work and I was doing great and it was going great, but maybe I wasn't getting the results that I want to see, I just like couldn't understand that. And it's because like it takes time sometimes. You're planting the seeds, you're reaping the benefits, but and you got to have faith too, and trust in the system. And that was something huge for me in my business.
My friends will go, you were an overnight success. I said, yeah, after 10 years. 10 years of creating momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that was so good.
And that's everyone will tell you that's ever accomplished anything. It took them 10 years. Mm-hmm. That really accomplished. I mean, to build millions in your bank account, it's not going to happen. Especially not going to happen if you're talking about being in a valley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Probably one more.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to say, I don't want to keep you too long. Okay, I'll ask this because I had a few people ask this one. Distributors, sponsoring new distributors, and the fire right off the bat. So there's a lot of words about like creating that momentum and like inspiring them. Mm-hmm. So I guess, what is your best advice? If you had the best advice ever, if you were to start, building yourself to diamond, double, triple ambassador right now, like what would be your best advice as far as, bringing on those new business partners?
It's the same advice that I learned from my mentor 20 some years ago. I know exactly who I am and what I'm going for. Okay. I know the attributes of the people that I want to work with, but I'm going to give everybody I talk to the benefit of the doubt. So I will sponsor you. I will put you on my front level. I will guide you to the places that you need to go study, which is the training. I will have you print off the steps to success in the Ruby chart. And then I'm going to see who wants to play. That's it. I'm not going to sit there and try to motivate you, inspire you, pull you, jerk you around, give you these, try to come up with these flavorful words. My goal during that time as well would be to get you in a room full of people, if possible. Get you on a Zoom, let you watch, let you hear stories, because stories are what really drives us. But outside of that, take the pressure off. Your job is to find new people, place them in the system, and see who wants to play. Because no one built Emily. Emily built Emily. Right? And when you try to build somebody, move somebody through, put people all in their organization, there's never a thank you, there's never appreciation, and they never feel worthy. So I learned that the long, hard way. Yeah, I can get to that next position by placement, but when I get there, there's no one there with me. So I like to, it's real funny, I showed Kay, my daughter, an example of all the people I put in front level. When we first started this, I was the one recruiting. And I said, this one played, and this one played. The rest did not. Look what we built.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, 3 strong legs will take you to the millions. So take the pressure off. You be the one. You show up every day. You recruit every day. You put customers in every day. You guide, you're the guidepost. You say, watch this, do this, print this. Come back when you've done it. Isn't that easy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, of course, you're going to do group trainings. Don't do one-on-ones, because that'll just, get to know them a little bit. But if you're like spending all your time doing that, they think they have to spend all their time doing that. So everything that I do, I want it to look like it's easy and fun. It's with ease and it's fun and it's duplicatable. Like that new person can do it too. Oh, you invite everybody into this training once a month. Oh, everyone prints this off. Oh, everyone goes and watches this video. So make sure that the system that you have in place is just pointing and having them do the work.
I love that. Simplicity.
You're building an empire here. Just think about, again, let's go back to McDonald's and, how they built one of the largest franchises in the world. I'll go to Italy. The French fry machine is in the same place it is in Indiana. It's all, 14-year-old Italians. Now we go to US and it's 60-year-olds in there making the fries. But the thing is, it's all duplicating. That's what you want. You want to free up. Your time should be spent recruiting. That's where you make your money. And having the system in place to run them through that. Of course, you've got somebody that's really working. You want to give them some time. You want to coach them. But they're coming to you. You're like almost chasing them. You're wondering, what the heck are they doing? That's the kind of people I want.
I agree.
Yes.
I want them too.
Yes, you do. You deserve it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thank you for taking your time. We appreciate you. And I'm going to let you go because I know you got to get on another call.
Final words, it's like my husband always said, Pam, let me do your next Zoom. And I'm like, what are you going to say? He goes, I don't tell them to get up off their butts and go to work. He said, you do that, but it takes you an hour. So I'm just going to say that to all of you. Just get up and start, start action right now. As soon as we get off here, ask someone, post something. But most importantly, boldly ask. I want you to be a part of my team. You would be so good at this. Well, what do you mean? Let me share it with you. It's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sharon.
Sharon.
You gotta ask.
We're
Thank you so
out.
much.
You're
Have
welcome.
a good night.
Bye.